Hi everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic. Now in this video we're going to talk about water. And I've done videos about water before, but we're going to talk a little bit more about it. Some more greater insights into water. And, water's a great teacher. Okay? And why it's a great teacher? Because when we look into how water flows, and the word flow is very important, very key to us as well. When we really get into understanding what water enables itself when it gets to do what it likes to do, what it innately wants to do, which is to move, flow, it provides a process which by flowing, it cleanses itself. It does it effortlessly. And you compare that to how we're taught to try and remedy our own health problems. We generally, as the human, make things too complicated and too complex. And we're specifically very focused on superficial means to correct that issue. Just remedying symptoms instead of to resolve the origin or the cause of that issue. And the way that we go about it, we typically do it in a way that is not putting the odds in our favor to actually resolve the issue, because we just make the process too complicated. And a lot of that is because we just misinterpret the situation. We misinterpret our body and what symptoms really are, and the way that the body actually communicating to provide an awareness to you to make a change. Instead of, we're kind of conditioned and taught to go in our autopilot mode with fight and flight and think that there's an issue and a problem. And quite a lot of the time, as we respond and react to that, we're doing that in a destructive manner that actually is stopping or limiting our body's own ability to heal it and resolve it. We generally just through the overcomplication of things, we can never gain the insights that we require. Okay. So we're going to talk a bit more about that. And so when we look at water in its natural environment, it loves to move. Okay. There's never an aspect of a river where it's flowing and it stops for a minute or a few minutes to take in something. Right? And why I say that is because that's what we do using a mind thought pathway. In session work, there's a clearing that we do where we say we remove illness. And illness is a very general term, right? As the human, we're taught that illness is this umbrella of all the health problems and health conditions and diagnoses that are out there. But here at Truly Holistic, we work on the origin, the root of things. And when we use that clearing, it usually stands for the original root of all illness. And what we've found is the original root of all illness is either a congestion, obstruction, or blockage to flow. This is how important flow is. And this is why water comes into play as our greatest teacher, and hence this video. So when we say to remove illness, we're essentially trying to bring the awareness to the client. Yes, we're removing the ill effect of illness and therefore what's obstructing, congesting, and blocking that flow. But it's also providing an awareness to the client that the original root of what's causing that congestion, obstruction, and blockage to flow is thought itself. Okay, and especially overthinking. Because there's a common expression that my consciousness gives me, and it always states that our body is only as good as the state we provide it. Okay. And there's a key aspect in that statement is the state we provide it. So we're providing our own state. Okay. This is the empowering aspect of it, which is the precursor to how the body will express itself. So symptoms will behave, right? Because the body's just not the body. It's also the microbes that live and exist within the body and their behavior. Is it going to be pathogenic or is it going to be beneficial? So in alignment with the body or against the body. Also how the body functions. is all dependent on the state that you provide your body. Okay? So, to provide what the body requires to remain or to return to a well and vital state, it depends on flow, everything flowing. Okay, whether it's blood, lymph fluid, whether that's neurons communicating to other neurons, nervous system, whether digestive system, when you eat something one end, it goes out the other end. Urinary system, kidneys creating urine and for it to be excreted out as a waste product. Your breathing, everything's dependent on flow. Okay? So, when we're talking about providing that right state, which is a state of being, that's your natural state, is your ability to go with the flow, right? You hear that common expression. Somebody's getting down and out and just really got the weight on their shoulders. Somebody will put their hand on their shoulder and go, hey, you just need to go with the flow. Don't overthink these things. Let's just take it as we go, right? So our ability to go with the flow or be in the flow is providing a state that your body will follow and adhere to like a guideline. Okay. So how we now look at that and our biggest obstruction of our ability to be or go in the flow is thought, right? Because thought is, requires time to intervene. If we're going in the flow and being very instinctual and intuitive, we're just in the moment. We're going from being self-aware from moment to moment to moment, which is a place where we remove ourselves from the negative implications of linear time, right? So essentially where we are in no time. But when we go, let me think about it, we're enabling time to pass, which enables the intervention of mind and the thought. And the thought and the overthinking then obstructs, right? Impedes your ability to be in the flow or go with the flow, which is that state you then present to the body, which congests, obstructs, blocks the flow of the body. Illness. Okay. So how this ties in with water, right, is water goes about doing what it loves to do, right, is to keep moving, keep flowing. It doesn't stop. Like we do with, we're going to think about this. Keeps moving, keeps moving. As it moves, it creates a vortex, right? Vortexes everywhere. You look at every level of existence. It's all to do with vortex. Now, vortex is the geometry of flow, people. I've just recently done a video on electroculture, and the common denominator in electroculture gardening is this aspect of a vortex. Vortex is flow. Your DNA, it's a helical structure. It's a vortex. Okay. Everything in nature, as it flows, it's a vortex. Right? The flames of a fire going, it's not going up like that. It's vortexing. Or as it's moving, it's vortexing. When you go to the toilet to pass urine, that urine comes out. It's not just going out like that. It's vortexing. Everything vortexes. Right? This is a key aspect of the word flow. Flow is vital to everything and anything. Okay. So as water moves and does what it loves to do, right? Following its heart's desires, what it loves to do, not the worries, the concerns, the fears. As it moves along, it's creating a vortex, which creates centrifugal forces, which allows the water to cleanse and detoxify, meaning it heals itself as it goes about what it loves to do. It doesn't have to think about, I've got to work on that and I've got to heal myself. No. As it follows what it loves, it naturally, effortlessly heals itself or keeps itself vital and well. So for anybody out there, right, that, I need to do regular liver gallbladder flushes, right, which is a cleanser detox, and that could be kidney detox, could be anything. You got to understand at the core, what a cleanse or a detox is enabling flow to an area that was once congested. So again, it comes down to flow. But that is evidence to show that you've been living in a way that is promoting congestion, mind thought, instead of enabling flow, heart feel, that has made you eventually needing a cleanse, a detoxification, a liver or gallbladder flush. Now, if you master your ability to be self-aware from moment to moment, which is the definition of being in the flow, going with the flow, and promote a state of flow for the body to follow and adhere to, how can things build up in your body? You won't need to do cleanses or detoxification aspects like a gallbladder flush, a liver flush. Because the way you're living is naturally, effortlessly cleansing, detoxifying, and healing your body. Because as you provide flow of more of your energy, you are providing also the materials for the body to rejuvenate, regenerate, and heal. The body already knows what to do. It just requires the material, and the material is a lot of your energy. And the biggest source of your energy, remember, at the core, you're an infinite consciousness in your own right, which means an energy that has no limitation or boundary to it. You've got a reservoir. Think about this. You've got a reservoir, or feel into this, right? You've got a reservoir of infinite energy existing in you right now. You just need to facilitate it. You need to connect to it. And why a lot of people generally say, as the human, we lack energy. Why? Because the human's being led from mind thought. And when mind is open, the heart closes off. Goodbye, reservoir of infinite consciousness, meaning a reservoir of infinite energy you can connect to and facilitate anytime you require that. But it requires an open heart. Okay, so the heart's very important in regards to that because it's the primary source of flow. It's the facilitation of more of you as infinite consciousness into the body. Okay? So let's, again, we've made many distinction or connection to water, right? And how we can learn from water and how that benefits us. But let's bring up this here, which is called my ascension map, right? Which is an illustration of your expansion as an infinite consciousness. There's no ifs and maybes. This is it. Okay? Now, spring water, right? Which is well known and, documented in regards to a very high quality water. Okay? And there's a lot of insight at the moment about adding hydrogen into water. Okay? Now, hydrogen, the word hydrogen is bound to the word vortex. Okay? When there's a vortex, there's more hydrogen. Okay? When we look at water, right? Everything that we see in its physical form here, or perceive in its physical form, is bound and connected to its consciousness. Okay? Now, the consciousness of water is hydrogen. Okay? Hydro means water. Gen means the genesis of water. Now, the genesis of everything in this physical reality is consciousness. Okay? So the consciousness of water is hydrogen. So the more you enable and allow it to do what it loves to do, right? And it's not being imprinted and infected by humans, right? We're essentially, defining spring water here. It's going to be very high in hydrogen. Now, the tools that we use, and we're going to get to those, that Truly Holistic creates, provides, and you can purchase from Truly Holistic, also provide more hydrogen into the water because it's providing more vortex or flow or a return to its higher aspects of its consciousness. Okay? Now, when we look at a spring, right, is that water originally comes from deep within the earth, right, an aquifer. And that water levitates from the aquifer up to the surface, right? Hence a spring. And that's magical water. And what I'm talking about here, I'm not going to get into hot springs. I'm going to talk about cold springs. Now, the laws of physics states that if something goes against gravity, right, the force of gravity against gravity, it will create friction and hence heat. But that water comes out icy cold. What that's done is bypass the laws of physics. That's magic. That's magical. Now, there's a spring that's local to my area, probably about 3.5 hours drive, 4 hours drive from where I live in New Zealand. And there's a sign outside that because there's a river that's continuously fed by this spring. It's called the Blue Spring. And the sign states about this river that the temperature of the water in this river remains constant all year round. It's like 11 degrees Celsius. I'm sorry for the Americans, it's not in Fahrenheit. You'll have to convert that. So it doesn't matter what the temperature is outside. It could be in summertime where it's really hot. It could be in the 20s or 30 degrees Celsius. Or it could be below zero in winter. But that water will keep flowing and remain at 11 degrees Celsius. It doesn't allow outside, hear this bit, because this is connected to us. It does not allow outside influence to affect it. Okay? Why? Because that water is a representation of its expansion, of its infinite consciousness, its true authentic form. Right? And when that happens, it doesn't allow outside influence. Okay, now take that from that perspective of water. As I said, we're going to learn, water's a great teacher, and apply it to the human. Right? We're seeing so many people saying, oh, this person's doing this to me, all outside influence. Right? Even the ascension stuff, oh, the solar activity of the sun, oh, that's why it's making me feel bad today. Outside influence. Okay. Now, it's because we're a mind thought. When we get into heart feel and we provide our expansion, right, our infinite consciousness, our authenticity, we don't allow outside influence to affect us anymore. This is the very key principle of that. Because just like the aquifer, this is in the depths of us, in a quantum pathway. And the surface is our heart. We are here in this reality. And this bit here where it enters into our reality, that's our heart. The heart is the space bridge, the portal that allows that expansion that exists within us to levitate, because this is within it, to levitate up to the surface, just like a spring. Okay, and when we bring our expansion up, very important, because the only way we facilitate through, the only highway into town, into the body, is an open heart. Right? Then we're the most powerful thing going on. Outside influence does not affect you anymore. The key is an open heart, though, to provide and levitate all this expansion to the surface, just like a spring. Okay? Now, I recently decided not to use the tools in my water for my drinking water for a bit, because I like to experiment, and I did that for a wee bit, and then I re-entered my tensor rings, right, that I structure my water with, and this is just tap water, right? I got a filter on the tap, but it's no special device, no reverse osmosis or distilling technique or anything like that used. And when I started doing it, I started drinking that water. It was unbelievable. It didn't even feel like water. It felt like I was drinking pure energy. Because generally, as the human, we don't see that we can be sustained through water because we're so food orientated and dominant. It's a really strange way of looking at it. Because again, as a human, we've been taught that our main sustenance is what we eat, when really it's not. Okay, it's one of 20, 25 different sustenances of where we gain energy and also where we leak energy out. Now, obviously, our number one source of energy should be an open heart and facilitating our infinite reservoir of consciousness, our energy. Okay. This is why a lot of people feel more dependent on food and all these other things, because they don't allow all of this expansion through, because their heart's closed off. They're living up here, right? Through externalized perspective and your conditioning and what you've been taught to be instead of what you authentically are. Okay. Now, you can sustain yourself through water, yeah, for sure. Right? So that was magical, because I always teach people we've got to feel into things. We can't follow what we see, because what we see is a 0.0035% representation of what it really is. Our eyes are part of our limitation. It's not even 1%. It's not even one piece of the puzzle to make that bigger puzzle, that bigger picture. Okay? Our thought process is limiting us. That's its purpose. The mind thought pathway. The one thing that has no limitation applied to it is feel. Okay? Because why? Because feel is an extension of the heart, and that's where your infinite capacity exists. Okay? Right? So I use tools, and I also use a ring on my shower head too. And we're going to talk about the tools now before we finish the video. So talking about the shower, I use a tensor ring which is cut with the activation qubit. Now these are qubits or energetics that you will only find at Truly Holistic, because this illustration of your expansion you will not find anywhere else. Okay, you will not find any tensor ring or energy product that facilitates the expansion that the products or the tools that Truly Holistic provide. Okay, because you've got to have an understanding and knowing of reality and your role in reality and what you truly are. And these products are a representation of that. Okay? So this energetic is the element Earth, which is the full spectrum of frequency that exists in this reality universe. Now there's no other tensor ring that facilitates that expansion alone. You think about all the rest we've got to come. Okay? So what I do with this is I place this on the shower head. So in the morning, because what I found that a lot of people, say that they feel the most negative or disorientated first thing in the morning. So I thought, okay, if we could put a product that is transforming the energetic of the water that comes through the pipe and then through the shower head that then hits you, that energetic to promote that person to shift from mind thought into heart feel. What a great way to start a day. So this is what we provided, right? Because this energetic is about getting to the door, right? The opportunity to then connect to this expansion, which is that ring there. We call it the heart activation ring. You can find it on my product store on the website. Heart activation ring for the shower. You can buy that product. And what I found with this product was the amount of insights that came in while I was having a shower. It was unbelievable. Why? Because I had an open heart. You think about this. You're not only facilitating infinite amounts of energy, you're facilitating an infinite amount of wisdom. Because in each of these realities, there is a version of you, a variant of you that is connected to you through quantum entanglement because you share the same energy signature, the soul, that when you connect to all of this, you are connecting into the wisdom of every variant and version of you that exists over a multiverse. To have it here, which provides greater insights into what you're actually observing here. Okay? So this product in itself is wonderful just for that reason. And obviously you can just use this ring on your drinking water. Like if you've got bottled water or you just put that over the bottle, right? Which I had a bottle here. Here's a cleaning solution, right? Just imagine this is your bottled water. Then you just place it over that, right? It'll transform and change the energetics of the water. Now it will change the energetics of the water like that. But it may take just a few hours for you to physically, tangibly feel the difference, with the feel of the water, the taste of the water, and everything about that, and how hydrating the water is, right? So that's one product. Now another product that you can use is we make coasters, right? We call this light technology because what we do is this is malachite crystal powder in here, and we put crystal powder in here, and it's encapsulated in resin into this wonderful coaster. And what we do is we anchor in the energetics that exist as part of your multi-dimensional aspect of yourself, your infinite consciousness, into the crystal powder. So whatever you place on the coaster, it connects that substance into its expansion. Whether that's water, whether that's tea, whether that's coffee, whether that's alcohol, whatever that is. Okay, I know this video is about water, but so the energetics that are anchored into this coaster includes the earth element, the air element, which you've got all in white, and also the blue element, the water element. So this coaster, when you place your water on it, is bringing through the entire consciousness, the origin source of the energy consciousness of that water back to its natural original state. Pretty cool, right? Okay. So we make charging plates that are bigger than this as well, and coasters. They are wonderful products. We also make a cell phone tab, which is again using the same, we use again crystal powder, the anchor in the etheric template, the energetics of this expansion into this, which then you place on a cell phone, which then transforms the energetics of the cell phone. So the cell phone doesn't become something that removes your energy, it actually charges your energy, right? But why I'm bringing this up here is this comes with a double-sided tape on this side, and you can stick this onto your water bottle as well. And that will then transform the energy in that bottle. So that's another cheat that you can use. You can use the cell phone tab for that. Now you can also use a recent product that we've made is the Gateway Facilitator, which is part of the Electroculture Gardening Kit, which is this product here, which is 3 tensor rings. You know, very much, it's a slightly different energetic, this isn't this one. But you can collapse it like this, right? Like it's a column of light, just like this one. Now this one, as I said, is the earth element. Now the energetics of these rings is the water element. Okay, so you can use this one. And the cool thing about this one is you can also make it into a sphere, okay, which gives you a sunshine effect. I'll just put it into that form now for you. Just needs a little bit of shaping. When I get one ring into place, then it moves the other, sadly. Okay, so it's like that, sphere, right, which creates a sunshine effect. But in the form of when you're working water, you just collapse it down, which you can just place again on your water bottle, like that. It's creating that column effect where it restructures the water back to its original form. Okay, so that's wonderful. So we've got plenty of products. Also, the Neutrality Tensor Trio, which comes in 3 rings. They're bigger than that, which you might want to use on a bigger body of water. And that brings through, one ring brings through the same energetic as that ring, the earth element. One brings in the air element, and one brings in the water element, right? So you can then apply that on, if you've got a big body of water, you can just place it on top or underneath, and it will create that column effect and restructure the water. So that's another way of doing it. So I hope you really enjoyed this video in regards to the insights and how much we can dial into and connect into water, and have a, let's say, a reflection of our own journey ourselves and what we can learn from water that is not only assisting the water's ascension, but assisting our own ascension too, and greater insights into, you know, a greater relationship with our body, what type of state that we need to provide our body, right, to provide wellness and vitality on a health level, but also an ascension level to evolve and grow. But also some of the tools that we provide here at Truly Holistic to restructure your water, that it's at the quality of a spring water, even better. And this is what I use every day. It's wonderful products. And you can find those products at trulyholistic.net/products/. Okay, so that's trulyholistic.net, net/products, products/. Now, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you really enjoyed this content and would like further content. Press the notification bell to be notified when the next video is out. I'd love to hear your comments below if you have any questions. Until next time, catch you later.